Had some control problems. She's been trying to work through that, and we'll see how Wickersham fares here in her initial start this year. The tall right-hander who had a really fine freshman year. Here's the batting order for Central Arkansas, and I think, Yvette, one of the things that stands out throughout this lineup is the willingness to run with several players. This is a Central Arkansas team that loves to steal bases, especially at the top of the order, and they've got some speed to do it. Leading hitter right now, Tremir Harris, who is 8 for 13 in this tournament, and she will be in the on-deck circle. LSU just losing an 8-inning game against Illinois to get things started.
It's a good Central Bears team, Central Arkansas team. We had the pleasure of calling them last year in the Southland Conference Championship games, and we watched them all week. And, of course, as you said, they've changed conferences now.
They were in the Southland Conference for 15 years before they made the switch to the A-Sun. This team hails from Conway, Arkansas, which is about 30 miles or so north of Little Rock. The 2-1 pitch backs Wildeman off the plate. Jenna hitting .357, 5 base hits. She is almost exclusively a singles hitter, but she runs extremely well. She's a dart on the base paths. Wickersham needs to find the strike zone here at 3-1. And she does.
In 2021, she was the Southland Conference Freshman of the Year, first team NFC All-South Region, NFCA Golden Shoe, as well as the Southland Conference Student Athlete of the Year.
She racked up some very impressive honors, and all well deserved.
They called her the Wonderful World of Wildeman.
And Wickersham comes back from a 3-1 deficit to record the strikeout.
All drop balls to that leadoff slapper, tough to handle. As you'll see here, good bite on the ball.
Batting second for Central Arkansas, right fielder number 1, Tremir Harris.
Here's Tremir Harris, who is off to a wonderful start. Harris already with 8 base hits on the year. Wickersham now filling up the strike zone. That's 3 consecutive strikes she's thrown after falling behind the first hitter.
And shout out to our good friend David Keene, that was the head coach for the Bears for many, many years and moved on to the sunny skies of Florida.
Harris has 7 singles and a double on the season. Harris rests the bat flat against her left shoulder. She's kind of a duplicate of Wildeman. They both are short in stature. They get on base a lot, and they love to fly around the base paths.
Create havoc. That's the job of those slappers.
Pleasance. Oh my, what a play, but safe at first base.
And only because she can fly. Otherwise, oh my, look at this play.
This is sensational. Pleasance deep in the hole, a no-look throw, and very, very close at first base.
Only because the base paths are 60 feet and the runner's already 4 feet down the line when they hit the ball.
Taylor Pleasance had the presence to just get it and throw it. It was almost a no-look
no
throw.
No step, no look.
But Harris is aboard, and she is a threat to run.
And we've got another catcher behind the plate that Beth Torina's trying to find some answers. Kat Kalin, catcher Kat.
This is her second start. Calland behind the plate. The 0-1 pitch upstairs to Mary Kate Brown. Here's another young but already accomplished ball player for Central Arkansas, hitting .286 through the first 4 games of the season, 4 for 14. No extra base hits and no runs driven in.
Nursing major. That's a tough major for a softball player.
Coffey reaches across her body, throws it to first base. Double play. Coffey reached to her right and turned that liner into a pair of outs. So some nice defense in the first inning for the Tigers, and we move on. LSU coming to the plate for the first time against Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas failed to score in the first inning. Some nice defense by the Tigers, and it's Jordan Johnson in the circle for the Bears.
Should see some good vertical movement with a good change. So her best stuff is going to be screw and change. Throws in about this, as you see, 64, 66 mile an hour range.
Here's a look at the LSU starting lineup. We'll get to it in just a moment as we are just about set for action here with a wind whipping in all directions with some gusto. Coffey, Briggs, Sunseri, Clark, Pleasance, Newland, Rudite, Calland, and Pylan. Leading hitter in that group right now is Briggs. She is 7 for 16. Clark at 375, and Coffey at the plate at 357, 5 for 14, including a triple and a couple of walks. LSU lost the preceding game to Illinois after having a lot of runners in scoring position early, but capitalizing only a couple of times and eventually losing in extra innings.
Got to bust innings wide open when you have a chance to have big innings.
This is game number 6 for the Tigers in the tournament. That's hit pretty well out toward left, but Jenna Wildeman is waiting for it perfectly. She didn't have to move much. And Coffey flies out to left field. This brings on Briggs.
Briggs leading the Tigers right now with a .438 batting average. Oh.
Briggs has 7 base hits. They've all been singles. She has driven in a pair of runs. Shelby Sunseri is on deck. That's a strike in the upper part of the zone. This young lady at the plate, the leading returning hitter from last year's roster. That's a foul ball. Wildeman, McClellan, Harris in the outfield. Griffin, Whitehouse, Brown, and Crownover on the infield. Johnson and Sampson form the battery. One ball, 2 strikes from Jordan Johnson. Briggs hits it to the right side. The swoop pickup by the second baseman Mary Kate Brown, and the out at first. So with 2 outs, Shelby Sunseri comes to the plate. Sunseri has 5 base hits. 3 have cleared the wall. 3 homers and 1 double among her 5 base hits. Ball one from Jordan Johnson, who is 0 for 2 on the year, is Johnson. She has lost both of the starts. Given up 12 hits in 10 and 2/3 innings.
Very athletic, can hit in the lineup. Not today, but can.
Johnson has walked 3 and struck out 8 in 10 and 2/3 innings. Sunseri is ahead in the count. Let's see if she gets a pitch to drive. Central Arkansas picked up an infield hit by Harris in the top of the inning, but she was erased on a throwback double play by Coffey to Clark on a liner that Coffey gobbled up at third and then turned it back into an out. The 2-1 pitch. Off the mark.
Trying to get her with that big curveball.
Well, many of you will end the day with football. We are delighted that you are starting the day with softball here on the SEC ESPN network. The 3-1. Sunseri waves after it.
He said she had a good change. I'm not quite sure that was a strike, but the look of the pitch fools Sunseri.
We will do it again at 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on base. Coffey flied to left. Briggs has rolled out to the right side. Sunseri at the plate with Georgia Clark on deck. Here's the 7th pitch of the at-bat. And Sunseri draws a base on balls.
Just missing with that curveball.
Here's Georgia Clark. She's also had the power swing early. 6 hits, 3 home runs, 1 double, 4 driven in.
Tigers need something good to happen for them to feel better. They'll be going into a very tough weekend in Clearwater, Florida next weekend.
Clark in the first game today was 1 for 3 against Illinois. The Illini winning in 8 innings, 5-2. Tigers were shut out in the final 7 innings of that game. And Yvette, it's been 10 years since LSU started somewhat slowly to get out of the gate. Back in 2012, LSU was 2 wins, 3 losses after 5 games. 3 wins, 2 losses now after 5 games.
But you know what they say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. A lot of ball games, a lot of ball to be played.
In fact, 50 remaining during the regular season after today. Let's see if Clark gets the green light here. The 3-1 pitch. She does, and she lines it foul down into the bullpen. Clark goes the other way and squibs one into right field. Sunseri is on her way to third.
Great job of cutting that ball by the Bears, but the Tigers are going to score off of it. Ooh, that was ugly.
But it does count as Sunseri was able to take advantage of the problem that Clark had between first and second. And LSU will gladly accept that run.
Yeah, the Tigers, got a little lucky right here, but the Bears' execution was perfect up to the cutoff, but then they kind of blew it in the rundown here. And Selby Sunseri with a very awkward slide, good enough to hurt herself. She kind of bounced her way home.
Well, Mary Kate Brown, the second baseman, probably should have held that ball instead of throwing it back to first or making that effort there, because that allowed Sunseri unchecked basically to round third.
Absolutely.
So LSU's first hit results in a 1-0 lead as Clark delivers. This is a catch on the dive in foul ground by Wildeman. Jenna Wildeman just saved another run. Well struck, but it's the third out. The Tigers, though, claim a run and lead it 1-0 over Central Arkansas. Just like they did in the preceding game against the Illini of Illinois, LSU scores in the first inning to take the lead. 1-0 over Central Arkansas. Engle Kiss, White House, and Crownover are scheduled to hit for the Bears. There's Jenny Parsons in her first season as Central Arkansas head coach, and you've known her for a while, have you not?
Longtime assistant there, and as I said, David Kewen, and she was the head coach at Nickel. She used to come and work softball camps here, and she's a lady that a lot of people like.
Wickersham misses. Shelby is making her first start. Engelkiss goes after one that was tall.
Good looking spinning rise ball from Wickersham. Can do both.
Engelkiss out of Greenbrier, Arkansas. Last season, just a few points below 300. That had some spin, didn't it?
Yeah, she's going to throw her changeup off of that curveball, so it's going to just take something off of there.
Engelkiss laces that foul. Central Arkansas last night was able to subdue the Tigers 3-2. And Wickersham induces a swinging strike. And Engelkiss goes back to the dugout. That's the second strikeout recorded by Wickersham.
That devastating drop ball that just falls off the table here.
Now batting for Central Arkansas, shortstop number 15, Kristen Whitehouse.
Wickersham is a graduate, and she has some interesting stories every time she comes back to practice, because she's doing her internship at Apollo Behavioral Health Hospital.
She is very intelligent, very focused in the classroom, and has been way ahead of schedule academically.
Veterina says she's been really good this year, throwing better.
She had an impact early in her career for sure at LSU and then dropped off last year. And if you go just by the numbers of it's clear that she threw a lot more walks per innings pitched last year than she did the first year.
She did. She had trouble getting ahead, staying ahead. You know, that drop ball that cuts so much. She's got to work ahead to use that big movement of the drop ball.
One shortstop throws out another one. Pleasance gets rid of Whitehouse, and here is Megan Crownover, the designated player. Crownover has had 4 at-bats in this tournament and is looking for her first base hit.
Of course, she's the daughter of the ex-LSU football quarterback, Jeff Wickersham.
Crownover out of Bentonville, Arkansas. That's a beautiful part of the state up in the northwest corner.
That's Walmart, right? Mm-hmm. Bentonville.
If you ever get up there, take a little walking tour of downtown. Now, it won't take you long, but you'll see the original Walmart store, which was not called Walmart at the time.
Sort of like what we have in Baton Rouge with the original Canes.
That's a fair ball. Coffey turns in another nice play at third base. A 1-2. Look at Caleb Beaver's numbers. And then Jordan Johnson, 21 wins last year with a 1.36 ERA. And that bottom line on the graphic, Yvette, is especially indicative. This that pair led Central Arkansas to a 1.92 team ERA. That was number 15 in the country last year.
Nice options in the circle for Parsons. As we said, they were in the title game of the Southland Conference last year.
Newland likes that pitch.
She does.
And drives it to the warnings track in left center field, and she stops at second with a stand-up double.
Like the way she swings a bat.
At the plate for the Tigers, right fielder, number 4, Mackenzie Brady.
Well, now the Tigers have a runner at second base with nobody out.
And this is definitely where the Tigers are looking to improve, to score runners in scoring position.
Rudity at the plate and flicks that bunt foul.
First North Carolina recruit for Beth Torina. Much is expected from her this season.
I think she may be the lone player in the history of LSU softball from North Carolina.
She might be.
From Franklin, North Carolina.
I certainly didn't have anyone from.
Rudity is a freshman. Hitting .250, she's 1 for 4. Kate Calland is on deck. LSU has an opportunity to get another run here with Newland at second base and nobody out.
Johnson is a very athletic pitcher.
That is a foul ball. By the way, Yvette, and I think we owe the audience, at least those who watched the first game, a bit of an explanation, because there was a lot of confusion. And if you didn't see the end of that game, none of this is going to make much sense. But the play that really was wacky, in which the runner, or rather the batter, didn't leave the box on a play that was on the infield, and we thought that she might have been hit by a foul ball. It went straight down. It was very difficult to tell on the replay, LSU's infield thought that it had bounced off of her for a foul ball in the box. As it turned out, it did not hit her. The umpires got it right, and she had come down awkwardly, and that's why she was kind of bouncing around and didn't run to first.
She was injured.
We thought when she was bouncing around and didn't run,
she'd gotten hit by the ball.
We thought it looked exactly the reaction that would be if a foul ball had hit her on the toe, which is what it looked like it did, but it did not. So the umpires eventually got it right.
It was just an awkward scenario.
It was a very bizarre play.
Something we had never seen before.
So in the interest of accuracy, the original call was correct, as bizarre and uncommon as it was. LSU now with runners at second and first, nobody out. Kate Calland at the plate. Her mom is here to watch Kate play.
I would dare say that 90% of the moms are here on opening day. It's kind of important to have your family here on opening day. Can't make them all.
This is Callan's third at bat. She's 0 for 2, and that one twists off foul to the left side.
She's taking her MCAT pretty soon. She wants to be a doctor. Catcher Kate.
You mentioned it earlier a bit, but this LSU team is laden with some very fine academic performers.
Well, for most of these players, it's get your education, especially with the COVID year and being granted an extra year. They've really taken advantage of that to further their education and set themselves up for the future.
There's a runner at second, there's a runner at first. Nobody out.
No big signing day bonuses for these young women. It's close.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Our coverage of LSU baseball starts next Friday. The Tigers and the Maine Black Bears.
Bet they haven't been outside yet.
No doubt. Out of Orono, Maine. Callan waves and can't find it.
Not a good pitch selection for Callan to swing at. Definitely a pitcher's pitch here. Great pitch, though.
Here's Presley Pylon, who gets the start at second base. Pylon is 0 for 3.
Stealing third, and I think they got her.
Allie Newland is tagged out by the shortstop covering. So the Tigers have their lead base runner erased. Whitehouse applies the tag. This was well done.
Absolutely.
By the infield of the Bears. That's the shortstop who got over in a hurry to make the tag. And so the Tigers were gambling on the base paths, and that one came up snake eyes.
Central Arkansas might have scouted that. You still have to execute the play. Beth Tarina just trying to get something going.
And a very fine throw by Emily Sampson from behind the plate. Now 2 outs for Pylon with 2 strikes, a runner at second.
Throwback. Whoa.
Rudity is caught as she strayed too far off the bag, and the throw erases her. So the Tigers come up empty with a couple of base runners. One thrown out on a steal attempt at third, the other thrown out on this throwback to second base after too big of an extension on the lead.
Sampson is impressive behind the
Leading off for Central Arkansas.
We are absolutely delighted that you have chosen to spend some time with us. Today's softball action started at mid-morning, and we'll take you up pretty close to the Super Bowl. Emily Sampson, the catcher who demonstrated her arm twice in the bottom of the second inning.
She was impressive in that inning.
She's out of Oklahoma.
As we said, the scouting report, strong arm. Her sister played at OU and Tulsa.
Shelby Wickersham.
Inside drop ball, nasty.
She struck out a batter in the first. She struck out a batter in the second. We play in the third, in the final game of this Tiger Classic. Well, each time Wickersham has struck out the leadoff batter in inning 1, in inning 2, and inning 3.
Getting that leadoff hitter in each inning is a definite plus.
Sampson chased that one. It was well downstairs, but she had committed to the swing.
Well, that's what makes Wickersham so good. If she can work ahead, that drop ball is wicked. See that backdoor curveball there.
Lexi McClellan is at the plate with Kylie Griffin, the third baseman, on deck. That off-speed pitch kind of got hung up in her hand. One nothing LSU. That's a little bit low and away. That pitch kind of working its way off the plate to the left-handed batter. And Wickersham allows the base runner via base on balls.
Now batting, third baseman, number 11, Kylie Griffin.
Griffin looks at it as though she wants to bunt and takes it for a strike.
Kind of hitting her hip. Hands getting caught up for Wickersham.
This is LSU's 6th game in the tournament. Tigers won the first 3 before losing last night to the Central Arkansas team. That was a 3-2 final. And then in the game preceding this one, the Tigers had an early lead, but it got away, and LSU, after being tied 2 apiece in extra innings, wound up losing to Illinois.
Shelby having a little trouble with the strike zone, but came back with a really good pitch on the outside corner there.
Here's the 2-2 pitch with 1 out, 1 on. Coffey makes the quick throw to first base for out number 2.
Yeah, I don't know if she had a play at second. Runner had a good lead and might have been. I think she made the right choice here. Would have been close, but might have had a shot.
But she takes the sure out at first base.
She did, and there was no hesitation. I don't even think she was ever glancing over at second.
Here's Wildeman. Callan can't pick it up cleanly. And McClellan takes advantage of it.
Once again, good base running. Read that ball in the dirt. Can't rely on your coach. She sees it. She's gone. To Callan's benefit, she got rid of that ball quick.
It's a wild pitch. That previous pitch was in the dirt. LSU's got to be careful here with a runner at third and 2 outs. And the top of the order in the pesky Jenna Wildeman is at the plate. This is a good player.
You got a drop ball pitcher. That's got to be, well, never mind. Oh.
Coffey got caught up mentally, I believe. She knew Wildeman could run. She started to throw it to first base. Then she changed her mind and never really was able to complete the play physically when she decided to take another look at the plate.
I want to say that the ball kind of got stuck in her hand. I'm not quite sure.
I think you're right.
Kind of got distracted a little bit.
She wants to go to first, and then she changes her mind, and just it didn't work out.
Number 1, Tremir Harris.
So an error on Coffey.
And a great job by Callan, because that ball could have been to the backstop with a runner at second.
The Tigers have not played their sharpest softball over the last couple of days.
No, and they have a few players that are struggling, but can play much better than they're showing. Third has been such a rock through the years, such a constant.
Here's Tremir Harris, and it wouldn't surprise me if Wildeman doesn't try to take second base.
There she goes.
In fact, there she goes. The throw is a good one, and on the money in time. Kate Callan laid it right in the glove at second base, and it took that kind of a throw to erase Wildeman.
Because Wildeman can run.
But an error and a wild pitch in the inning give a run to Central Arkansas without benefit of a base hit, 1 each. One apiece, Central Arkansas and LSU. Now let's go back to Wildeman being thrown out at second base, trying for the steal attempt. Callan comes up firing. Is she safe? Is she out? A bang-bang play. They ruled her out. Stopped the presses. She's been thrown out on the base paths. Last year she had 56 stolen bases, and she was caught 3 times. That 56 stolen bases led the country last year, 56 out of 59, and the Tigers erase Wildeman on a fine throw by Callan on a very close play either way at second base.
Very close, and she's freshman of the year last year in the conference, and she can fly.
Presley Pylon at the bottom of the order leads it off for the Tigers. LSU got one in the first. Central Arkansas took advantage of some LSU defensive mistakes in the third. There's Wildeman. What a year she had as a rookie. Not only was she the freshman of the year, she was a first team All-Southland Conference selection as a first-year player.
Wonderful wild world of Wildeman.
You
The Tigers played that perfectly, having Pylon at second cover that bag instead of Pleasance having to run all the way from shortstop. Pylon was just there waiting for the throw. Made a good tag. She might have been safe, but she made a really good tag.
Pylon is thrown out by shortstop Kristen Whitehouse.
Batting for the Tigers, third baseman number 13, Danica Coffey.
So back to the top of the order we go for Danica Coffey. She lined to left last time.
And you know she'd like to help her team out here right now.
Coffey is 5 for 15 in the tournament, one triple. That's a foul ball. That's a little off the mark. 2 balls and a strike to the LSU third baseman. Coffey is able to beat the throw from Whitehouse. Once that ball took the extra bounce, it pretty much assured things at first base.
Yeah, she'd have had to catch it on the first one, which might have been impossible.
Number 18, Sierra Red.
That's the 6th base hit of the weekend for Coffey. Here's Briggs, who bounced out second to first last time. Yvette, you know you've arrived in the SEC when your game towel, which is hanging out of the waistband of her pants, also has your number on it. Now that's class. Did any of your game towels have the player's number on it? There it is.
I don't think so.
That's big time right there. Wildeman is out in the right place at the right time. In left field, pretty well hit ball, but Wildeman can really patrol it out there, and she had Briggs played perfectly.
A lot of the lefties for LSU have just hit the ball on the nose, but have nothing to show for it.
Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left-handed batters in the starting lineup.
It's a bunch.
The only 2 who aren't, Sunseri and Clark. And a running catch is made by the center fielder, McClellan. That's a 10-pitch inning, and we move on. 1 apiece, Central Arkansas and LSU. It was a tight game last night between these teams, eventually won by Central Arkansas 3-2. We've got another squeaker working in the fourth, 1-1 here in the final game of this Tiger Classic.
Bears have definitely not been intimidated.
With Hall of Fame coach Yvette Girard, I'm Lynn Rollins. We warmly thank you for spending some time with us today. And we've got a lot of LSU softball coming your way on the SEC ESPN network. And several network-driven games over the course of the season, both at home and on the road as well. So you just stay right here with the ESPN family of networks, and it'll be all over the place for you this year, as it's been for many years.
The fun has started all the way until June.
One run, 3 hits for the Tigers, 1 run, 1 hit for Central Arkansas. The Bears' run was unearned, and Wickersham trying to make a mark here in her first start.
Working ahead of Harris here, takes away one of her options. She can bunt really for a hit, but don't think we'll see it with 2 strikes.
That's high and inside. Harris, like Wildeman preceding her in the lineup, is very swift to first base. Three balls and 2 strikes. Wickersham needs to find the plate here. Mary Kate Brown is on deck.
You know, Wickersham in this game so far, she works ahead and then kind of loses it a little bit, as opposed to, you know, just, oh, nice play, way to be that 5th infielder.
Wickersham is a tall pitcher, and she needed every inch of it.
Couple of tall pitchers on, and she had to reach across her body. Helps herself out there.
Here's Mary Kate Brown. She lined into a 5-3 double play last time. Coffey started it with a backhanded catch on a ball that got to her in a hurry, and then she was able to throw back and nail Harris, who had left the bag at first. Harris had ideas of scoring on that base hit, even though it was headed to the left side. And when Coffey was able to make that catch, then Harris was much too far away from first base to recover.
So hard as a runner, especially one that quick. You know, you get that hard lead, the ball is like rocket.
That's what Mary Kate Brown does so well. She hits for a high average, not a lot of power.
Gets on base.
But she definitely gets on base.
You'll see this drop ball that kind of doesn't cut.
Here's Shaylee Engelkiss. That levels the count at 1. The victory last night by Central Arkansas over LSU was its first in 9 games against the Tigers.
Come close a couple of times, but they did it last night and giving them fits right now.
Wickersham is a strike away from letting her team get back to the dugout. The 1-2 pitch. Actually, there's only one out, so it's going to take more than one pitch. Unless there's a double play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Brown with a single after the ground out by Harris. The pitch by Shelby. Tight, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
This is what I'm talking about right here. Got some wasted pitches in there when she could end the inning.
2 hits for the Bears and 3 for the Tigers. The outfield maybe a step deeper than usual and pretty much straight away. There is ball 4, and that's the second walk from Wickersham. The vet, we showed the celebration by Central Arkansas last night in our opening. That win over an SEC powerhouse like LSU was huge for Central Arkansas. I mean, it was like they had won a regional.
They did celebrate and they were happy, and you're right, it's a huge win for them. They come here every year. They leave kind of with some losses, but they keep coming, and it paid off last night. Got Raylyn Chafin, the freshman, warming up in the bullpen.
Bench runner for Central Arkansas. In at first base.
Erin Blackburn is the pinch runner. She's a junior.
Now running at first base. Now batting for Central Arkansas will be number 21, Emily Perry.
And we've got a pinch hitter for Central Arkansas as well. Emily Perry, a freshman, is batting for Whitehouse. Steve right. A 1-1 ball game with 1 out and 2 Bears aboard. Perry takes a whip and can't find it.
She started with the big curveball for a strike, and she comes inside with a drop ball that might not be a strike, but gets the hitter to swing because it's a good-looking pitch. The key for Wickersham is she just has to work ahead because she has such great movement. She has to be able to use it.
That's fouled at the plate on the 0-2 count. Wickersham delivers the 0-2 again. There's that slow breaking pitch. We've got a 1-1 ball game. The Tigers scored in the first and then yielded an unearned run in the third without a Central Arkansas hit. Perry got a little piece of the top of that
Hanging
ball.
on.
Wickersham is one of those ball slammers between pitches.
She's definitely got a routine. There's so many that she does.
1-2. A swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Wickersham.
You gotta love that emotion from Wickersham, but you see that drop ball just roll off the table. It's in the strike zone and not there anymore.
Here's Megan Crownover. The situation is the same on the base paths, but now there are 2 outs, 2 on in a 1-1 ball game. This should be caught. And it is, as Briggs calls off everybody in center field and makes the grab. 2 left aboard for the Bears, but no damage done against LSU. It's still a 1-1 game. Truly one of the who's who tournaments across the country. Coming up next for LSU, this is the St. Pete Clearwater Elite _Elite Invitational. Look at all the ranked teams involved, many from the SEC, including LSU. And the Tigers will actually start their play on Friday against a heck of a field. It'll be Oklahoma State and Washington and Notre Dame and Michigan and Texas Tech in a row against the LSU Tigers.
One of the big ticket items to watch college softball. It played at City Park, and they have buses running. So
By the
there's
way,
so many people there.
By the way, Yvette, that tournament will not go unnoticed. There are 40 televised games on the network in that tournament alone. It's, and I don't think this is much of an overstatement. It's like watching the World Series in February.
That's a brainchild of Michelle Smith and ESPN to get it done down there.
Georgia Clark has the potential to change the scoreboard. Let's see what she does here. This one will be a parking lot souvenir. Do you remember when you were a kid at the ballpark, Yvette, whether it be baseball or softball, and following a foul ball? I mean, I can hear it in my sleep. Please return that foul ball to the concession stand for a free snow cone.
Yeah. Hey. When I first started coaching, I was making them run through traffic to pick up balls in the street. It's like they would come back and say, I'd say, where's the ball? Went in the drain. I don't care. You got to be faster than that.
You got to get it out of the drain. Have somebody hold on to your ankles.
Dodge those cars.
Clark pops up to the shortstop. And this brings on Pleasance, who tattooed one last time but lined out to left field.
Yeah, that was really the first well-hit ball by Pleasance, who's having a tough luck opening weekend.
She is 1 for 17 right now. Now that base hit was a double as she sizzled one over first base, and it drove in a couple of teammates. But that's been her only base hit so far.
She'll come out of it too talented to struggle long. We all do at times. I got an interesting fact for you about Taylor Pleasance. She doesn't like cheese, but she eats cheeseburgers, cheese fries, queso, and nachos, but she doesn't like cheese.
There's a liner to center field for a clean base hit. That one sounded good off the bat. So I'm a little confused. She doesn't like cheese, but she eats cheeseburgers and queso and all the other things you mentioned.
Cheese fries, nachos.
So I'm a little confused.
So is she, I think.
Oh, she professes not to like cheese, but
Correct.
she eats cheese.
Correct. This is from her roommate.
And there'll be a pinch runner, I believe. That's the second base hit for Pleasance on the season. That's the second time she's had a screamer off the bat in this game. And Madeline Gilio is going to pinch run.
At the plate for your Tigers, left fielder number 44, Allie Newland.
Here's Allie Newman. Newland had a double in the second inning. Newland is trying to create a permanent position for herself in the lineup.
Well, she has swung the bat well. Ooh, that ball just ate her up.
But a nice recovery by the first baseman. That ball kind of came up into her chest, and then she might have kicked it, but she was able to jump back on it and beat Newland to the bag.
It's one of those where you just want to stomp on it and say, die, sucker, die, because it's giving you so much fits.
Off her glove, came up and may have hit her in the jaw, but she's able to reach with that left leg and get to the bag before Newland. Giglio moved up to second. Sheehan's in scoring position now with 2 outs. Tigers could use a timely base hit right here. The Tigers stranded 7 runners last game. They are 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position in this game.
Coaching staff would really like this young lady to get a base hit right here because they have really talked glowingly about her abilities.
Mackenzie Rudity is a freshman from Franklin, North Carolina. And she lays off that elevated pitch.
A little better at bat here. She's been kind of chasing some outside pitches.
Scoreboard reads 3-0, but it's a 2-1 count, 2-1 count. That pitch prior to the last one was a strike. Two hits for the Bears, 4 for the Tigers, but we are tied at 1. 2 outs, a runner at second base, a 2-2 count on the rookie right fielder. Rudity lofts one into right center, a long run for the center fielder. Oh, what a catch by Lexi McClellan! Lexi McClellan leaving her feet at the last moment and having to worry about the right fielder as well. She makes the catch, but she appears to be hurt.
Might have jammed her knee, but what a catch. She just saved a run for the Bears.
A tremendous play by the center fielder McClellan, who did not enter the scene until very late during the length of that fly ball. A magnificent play by McClellan in center field, no doubt saving a run. Wow. They will try to get her up, but it looks like she's got a left knee problem. Yvette, that's one heck of a play. Let's look at it again.
Unbelievable play here. I just wanted to see if she was going to come up with the ball also. But
That might have been right there. That previous step might have been where she jammed the knee. Looked like that knee got soft and kind of buckled a little bit. Actually, a step before she left her feet.
heck of a play.
And the LSU Tiger fans get up and cheer her health and cheer the skill we just saw defensively in center field.
Might have been a game-saving catch there.
No doubt about it. One apiece as we move on. The Bears and the Tigers from Baton Rouge. We resume play in the top of the fifth inning with a 1-1 ball game in progress and a pinch hitter for Central Arkansas. This is Tyler Vernon. Vernon wears number 10. She's listed as 24 on the roster.
Really stepping out of the bucket.
Vernon is batting for Sampson. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Shelby Wickersham. That's off the mark. And in a tie game as we move toward the latter part of the innings, Yvette, both of these pitchers and both teams defensively are well aware to minimize base runners as much as possible.
Razor thin.
3 balls, 2 strikes, Wickersham. And the pinch hitter Vernon doing battle in the top of the 5th. The play will have to be made at first base, and it is. But another strikeout for Wickersham.
Once again, she comes back, works herself into a hole, but ends up with a K.
5 strikeouts on the day by Wickersham. I bet she's had one in the first, one in the second, one in the third, one in the fourth, and now one in the 5th.
She's thrown well, only 2 hits.
Here's McClellan. Wickersham's going to have to recover and cannot do it in time.
It's one of those when you got a slapper, you fumble it once or twice, they're going to be safe.
That's going to be ruled an infield hit.
Now, third baseman, number 11, Kylie Griffin.
I think maybe the official scorer might have been still in awe of that catch by McClellan in center field and decided to give her a little reward. Doesn't matter, there's a runner at first.
Nice play by Clark. He is fielding her position this weekend.
She really is. It is so difficult, so very, very difficult to turn a 3-6-4 double play. You got to have everybody in motion.
This game, and then you got somebody that can run at the plate.
LSU did everything it could to try to turn it over for 2 on the right side, but you've got Pylon having to time her run to first base. You've got Clark delivering to Pleasance covering second with a strike, and then Pleasance throwing back to first with Pylon covering.
Yeah,
runner
baseball.
on the move. Out at second base. Kate Calland has gunned down a pair.
She's making a name for herself back there. She might find herself in the lineup card a lot more.
That's not an easy pitch to handle. She was throwing it as she was falling to her knees. And we move on. The Tiger defense comes through. It's still 1-1, bottom of the 5th. Central Arkansas 1, LSU 1. And we play in the bottom of the 5th inning. Looks like Brandon may get an opportunity at the plate for the Tigers. Bailey Brandon will come to the plate. Yet another one of those left-handed batters, Yvette.
Bailey Brandon.
Nickname Baby. You will never guess what her favorite drink is. You'll never guess it.
You'll never guess what mine is either. I'm going to guess pickle juice.
Buffalo sauce.
What?
Buffalo sauce.
Buffalo sauce. You mean
Drink
out of,
it.
out of
Drink
a bottle?
Evidently.
Is that a barbecue sauce of some sort?
No. Wings. You know,
okay.
wings.
Buffalo wing sauce.
Right. But she loves to drink it.
Well,
She
chicken
is
is
from-
expensive these days.
She's from Texas. Chicken is expensive. Yes, it is.
Brandon is a freshman. Whitehouse does a nice job at shortstop.
She does.
She's not as flashy as some of the shortstops you'll see during the season, but I know as a coach you appreciate the ability for her to make every routine play. And she's only had one at bat today and grounded out to short.
And Pylon's unknown fact, she is fluid in sign language. It's very cool.
I get some sign language from our
Yeah,
producer every
I'm
once in a while.
sure. Somehow I knew that was going to incur that response.
No, I mean, it's instructive. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error for the Tigers.
Pylon redshirted last year.
Jordan Johnson got off to a rocky start. LSU scored a run in the first, but since then she has shut the door on the Tigers. Wickersham has occasionally had to dance around some hot coals, but the only run that came against her was in the third, and it was unearned.
Well,
In fact, it came without a base hit.
pitchers have done their jobs. It's not a lot of run support.
Well, LSU scored only 2 against Central Arkansas last night, scored only 2 against Illinois in the game preceding this one, and has been held to 1 run so far against Central Arkansas. This is up the elevator shaft, and McClellan in center field is there. So we go back to Coffee to lead it off, or at least in the leadoff position, where she is 1 for 2. She had a base hit in the third, and she flied to left field in the first. Jordan Johnson has settled in nicely. She had a big year, did Johnson, last year. Has not pitched particularly well in this tournament up to this game, but certainly her credentials from a year ago are sparkling. One of the leading ERA throwers in the country.
You're right, Lynn, with this protective net over the dugouts now. No more souvenirs over there. Great pitch, just not for a strike.
Yeah, Johnson kind of went, ooh, I thought that one was there.
Great location. Would be unhittable for Coffee. Got nothing to do with that hard inside pitch when you're running at the pitcher. Well, what's your pick for the Super Bowl?
You know, the Rams certainly are favored, and should be if you just evaluate every position, especially defensively.
Plus their home team.
But there is magic working with Cincinnati. I'll
be honest with you, I kind of walked away from the game 2 weeks ago when the the Bengals were losing so badly by half. And I happened to check my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's tied. Let me get back to the game. Another
Can
base
this
hit.
get through? Wow,
wow,
what a play
what a
from
play.
her belly. Mary Kate Brown went sliding headfirst on the infield and then made a backhanded play as she was sprawled on her midsection.
Lindsay Leftwich doesn't think so for LSU, so we're going to look here. I think she's safe.
But a heck of a play by Mary Kate Brown, and she gets the benefit of the call. Still. Out or safe at first base? You make the call. One thing we are certain of, this is one whale of a play by the second baseman, Mary Kate Brown.
Look at that backhand throw, and you know what? Blue might have gotten it right again.
If the ball is in the glove right there, she's out.
But what a heck of a play. That backhand throw is not easy from that distance.
And especially with that accuracy and that zip on the ball.
Exactly, and it Coffee running, I thought for sure that was a base hit.
So that's two spectacular plays we've seen recently. One by McClelland in center field, and that one by Brown at second base.
Well, they're playing with some confidence, you know. They got the win last night. They're tied right now. They think they can do it again.
Here's Wildeman at the top of the order. If you're LSU, you've got to pay special attention to her. She can turn one base into two, maybe three. And, of course, Central Arkansas really wants to get this leadoff batter aboard. 0 for 2 today.
She's just trying to tap it and get it on the ground and beat it out.
LSU has done a nice job of preventing the Central Arkansas leadoff batters in every inning from reaching base. They have not so far.
And then Callan has stopped the running game with through two thrown outs at second base.
That last one that Callan threw out, I think, was especially impressive because she was literally falling to her knees when she unleashed the throw. Callan actually looks like she has fun behind the plate. She's kind of dancing between pitches and kind of getting into the rhythm of the clapping and the music. That pitch just dropped out, did it not?
She wants to be, oh, absolutely, the last two.
Tremir Harris.
So a big strikeout for Wickersham. She continues her streak of striking out one batter in every inning. Here's another tough customer in Tremir Harris. 1 for 2. Last season, a solid .330 batting average. She's not going to have a lot of RBI nor a lot of extra base hits, but she gets on base, and she, like Wildeman, is very dangerous on the base path.
Just cause havoc with that speed. Just let them loose. This is trouble.
Clark cannot hold on at first.
Wickersham had her.
That's going to be an error on the third baseman.
Clark has played spectacularly this weekend, but ball probably hit in the heel.
Now
Just popped out.
Central Arkansas, second baseman number 2, Mary Kate Brown.
Error number 2 for the Tigers. Mary Kate Brown who turned in a spectacular play from second base to end the, or in the bottom of the last inning. There's a nice breaking pitch.
Yeah, you could see it all the way from up here.
That looked like a fish hook.
It did. Look at the break on this ball. Spin clockwise, or curveball.
There's another one. A couple of curly Q curveballs from Wickersham. Mary Kate Brown, a very capable hitter, is at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Nubbed toward Pleasance. The out at second, but no chance to get it done at first. Mary Kate Brown reaches on the fielder's choice. 2 outs in the inning. And Beth Torina is going to go out and have a word with James Colese, the third base umpire, who was pulled over towards second in the rotation.
Only thing I can think of is if she asked about some interference with Pleasance trying to turn it. Well, no, it would have been pylon.
Torina very, very rarely complains.
Yeah, when you saw her very upset in the previous game, takes a lot.
But she is not the type of coach that carps just for the sake of hearing her own voice.
Yeah, she's not a whiner. She said she was taught early on by one of the greatest ever to play the game, Joan Joyce, when to go out there and talk to umpires.
Umpires appreciate that too. And they tend to take you more seriously if they know that your complaints come very infrequently, but when they do come, the coach has, in her mind, an honest complaint, and you get a little more leeway that way. That's on the inside part of the plate.
Well, you're not supposed to complain about balls and strikes, but we know everybody does it.
But it's a little less direct, isn't it, from the dugout?
Sure.
I mean, sometimes a good groan can go a long way. What was your favorite line that you got away with in maybe questioning the ball and strike decisions?
Not quite sure about that, but you know, like maybe blaming your catcher and your catcher knows that what you're doing.
LSU wanted the appeal to go its way, but it did not. Did Engelkiss commit on the swing? Negative.
It's been a little iffy this weekend to me. It's a tough call.
Don't complain on balls and strikes. Runner on the move on that pitch, of course, with 2 outs, but Engelkiss extends the inning. This is where you've got to be careful.
A gap hitter here. And this is kind of where it's getting away from LSU at times. It's kind of a lull, and all of a sudden, oops, there's a little trouble.
Central Arkansas's run came in the 3rd without a base hit. It does not have a base hit here in the 6th with runners at 1st and 2nd, and we are going to see a relief pitcher for the Tigers. Wickersham is lifted. Shelby Sunseri returns to the mound for the Tigers. She pitched in the first game. We'll take a break right here. We've got a 1-1. One Shelby replaces another. This is Sunseri. Earlier today against Illinois, she went 5 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, a couple of runs, did not walk a batter, and struck out 5.
Such a small margin of error because the runs are not being scored. The pitchers have to be almost perfect.
There's a mitt popper, but it's off the mark to Whitehouse. Kristen has grounded out to short and struck out. Actually, this is only her second at bat. Perry came on as a pinch hitter for her in the 4th. Whitehouse obviously has returned to the game. Grounded left side off of Coffey's glove. No place for Pleasance to throw it, and the bases are loaded. Coffey moving to her left. Reached across, couldn't make it happen.
Seen that a couple of times this weekend.
And that'll be a base hit, just too hot to handle. And now the water is boiling, even though there are 2 outs. Mary Kate Brown at 3rd. Engelkiss at 2nd. Whitehouse on the infield hit at 1st. A fly ball out to left, and it is squeezed for the out. So Sunseri comes out of the bullpen and gets it done. And we move on in a 1-run, 4 hits for both Central Arkansas and LSU. We've got a birthday boy in the ballpark. There's Howard Dobson, the LSU assistant coach. He handles the hitting instruction for the most part, and it's his birthday today.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd like his hitters to give him a better birthday present and get some more runs on the board. But Howard does a great job here, and very loyal, great guy.
He loves to talk softball, and he can do it on any level.
Of course, he played for Tony Robichaux at McNeese.
The late and great
Tony
Robichaux.
Number 36. And of course, Howard has a silver medal from the Olympics. I don't know, ain't too many people that have a silver medal, personally.
Briggs, Sunseri, and Clark for the Tigers. LSU fans are thinking maybe that sounds like a run. Give a lot of credit to Jordan Johnson in the circle for the Bears.
And the Bears have played outstanding defense.
Tremendous defense.
Robbing hit after hit.
Morgan Nelson is now playing first base. In fact, she was the batter at the plate to end the inning.
That's a base hit.
Briggs collects her first base hit of the afternoon. Let's see if the Tigers put her in motion. This is Briggs.
Does so many things well. And look, so legal in the box.
That ball had some backspin, didn't it?
No chance of a play there. It's just perfectly placed.
Shelby Sunseri has walked and scored. She has flied to center field.
Lineup can make the Tigers go home feeling better about themselves. This is exactly who you want at the plate coming up in the next at-bats.
Ball 1 upstairs. LSU has been putting the ball in play. One walk, 1 strikeout for Johnson. That's a strike in the upper part of the zone. Briggs has much better than average speed at first base. The out made at first. That's a bit surprising to me that Sinceri was called upon to bunt, and she did it nicely.
Well, it's surprising, but when you're having trouble scoring runs, you got to put people in scoring position.
So Briggs advances on the sacrifice bunt by Sinceri, and even though she doesn't do it a lot, she certainly looks certain in that bunting posture.
Well, I bet Tarina knows now that she can call on her to do it if need be.
Here's Georgia Clark. She has one of the Tiger hits. That came in the first. She also has popped up to the shortstop. Just about any kind of a base hit would score Briggs. That's headed up the middle. Briggs rounds third. Briggs digging to the plate. Here's the throw. It's off the mark. And Georgia Clark delivers for the Tigers.
And that's why the sacrifice bunt in this game is still a valuable tool.
Georgia Clark comes up swinging. That pitch was actually a little high and away. She was able to get the fat part of the bat, and Briggs, with no hesitation, scores to give LSU a 2-1 lead. We will have a pinch runner as Clark drives in her 6th run of the season.
It goes unnoticed, really, in a box score, but Sinceri, who's never called on to bunt much, executes it perfectly to get the go-ahead run.
Madry is the pinch runner at first. And Central Arkansas will be discussing things in the circle. LSU will carry at least a 2-1 lead into the 7th inning. Yvette, this has been a heck of a game, and give this ASUN member team, Central Arkansas, some credit. A 3-2 win over LSU last night, and a 1-run game here in a very tight, narrow range here in the second game between these two teams.
Absolutely. They're playing with confidence, and no question the Tigers are struggling. But they're clawing, and they're doing all of the little things, as I said, with that sacrifice bunt to allow themselves for a victory.
That's only the 3rd sacrifice bunt in Shelby Sinceri's entire career.
Well,
that's a great little trivia note right there.
Absolutely. And kudos to
Randy Hayden for passing that along.
Randy Handy. You knew it wasn't much because she swings such a powerful bat. But the last thing you want in that circumstance was a big pop-up or a strikeout.
Taylor Pleasance has hit the ball hard twice. She's 1 for 2. She lined out in her first at bat. She singled sharply in her last one. A 1-1 pitch. Pleasance thought about it and then laid off, and it was a good decision. 6 hits for LSU, 4 for Central Arkansas, a 2-1 lead for the home team in the 6th and final game for the Tigers in this opening weekend Tiger Classic tournament. Runner on the move, and the peg is off the mark. Madry holds her ground at second base.
Got to keep running.
Only 1 out. A runner at second. LSU looking for some insurance. Ball 4, Pleasance.
They have just stayed away from Pleasance all weekend.
She takes the unoccupied base on that walk. Runners at first and second. With 1 out, a run in. And here is Newland. Allie Newland has doubled and rolled out to first base. The tag was missed.
Wow.
On Pleasance. Second baseman Mary Kate Brown was trying to tag Pleasance and then throw to first base. She did complete the throw for the out at first.
And I was thinking Pleasance had made a mistake by not stopping and making her go after her, but
she legally ran out of the base path. In other words, she stayed within the parameters required. So Pleasance moves up. It turns into a 4-3 putout. And Rudity at the plate. A strike to the young right fielder. She has walked and flied out. McKenzie takes a second strike. An infield hit by Briggs, a sacrifice bunt by Sinceri. Yes, you heard us right. And Georgia Clark delivers with a knock for the RBI single. The Tigers have 2 on, both in scoring position with 2 out. Rudity trying to provide a little bit of cushion here.
a little bit of breathing room.
Johnson has pitched well. She misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Swing and a miss, and the side is retired. But the Tigers take the lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. We go to the 7th, LSU 2, Central Arkansas 1. Two to 1 is the LSU lead, with Central Arkansas coming to the plate in the 7th inning. Welcome back to Tiger Park, everyone, with Coach Yvette Girard. I'm Lynn Rollins. As LSU tries to overcome some problems last night and a loss to Illinois earlier today. Another tight ball game. LSU taking a 2-1 lead into what could be the Bears' final at bat. Shelby Sunseri is on in relief. She came on earlier in this game. Sunseri sporting that green and bleached glove, it appears. Kind of light colored with some green teal trimming and laces. And here we go. Ball 1 upstairs to Emily Sampson.
First out always so important in every inning, but of course with a 1-run lead in the 7th inning, more so.
Sampson has had only 1 at bat, and she struck out, and she lines this one. Oh! It's caught by Taylor Pleasance. Where did she come from? The ground just opened up, and Taylor Pleasance jumped through the grass to make that play.
The length of Pleasance is what makes her so special, because that was a hit off the bat.
Put a star by this one in the scorebook. Pleasance laying out Superman style, and every bit of that 6 foot with those long arms came into play there. What a play by Pleasance.
Just saved a base hit, no question about it.
Now McClellan takes a strike.
We have had some highlight plays in this game defensively.
Including one by the young lady at the plate right now in center field.
Right, by both teams.
And also by Mary Kate Brown at second base, and that one by Pleasance.
And you're right, she just kind of came out of nowhere.
McClellan was at 293 a year ago. Sunseri thought she might get the right arm to come up on that pitch, but it did not. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, nobody on base. A 2-1 lead in the 7th inning for the Tigers, who are looking to win for the 4th time in 6 games here on wall-to-wall softball in Tiger Park on opening weekend. Off speed and up.
Changeup kind of getting stuck in her hand. This could have been disastrous. A 3-1 count, and Pleasant had not made that play.
These Bears are resilient. That's right down Main Street. Now the pressure pitch. The outfield is medium depth, and playing McClellan as an opposite field hitter. Strike 3 on an awkward swing. Sunseri had McClellan off balance.
Great looking pitch here. We're going to see. She's just going to hit that outside corner with that screwball. Just gets it there. Just so hard of a pitch for these lefty slappers to hit. I say it time and time again. That ball tailing away.
Kylie Griffin is 0 for 2. She has grounded to third and reached on a fielder's choice. Off the mark. Nobody on base, 2 outs. LSU leading by 1 in the 7th. The count is level. Sunseri trying to pick up the win in relief. And she took some velocity off the pitch and dropped it in.
Change up on the outside corner. Tiger fans are on their feet. 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Pleasance retreats, slings it to first base. Out there, and the game is over. What a match. 2 teams went at it, and it's a 2-1 final. LSU wins to claim its 4th win in 6 outings in this opening weekend. So Yvette, well pitched, and LSU had enough to get the victory over Central Arkansas.
Taylor Pleasant's highlight reel in that last inning, that last play. Not everybody makes that play.
So that wraps it up from Baton Rouge as we conclude the first 3 days of the 2022 college softball season. Final score, LSU 2, Central Arkansas 1. For Yvette Gerard, I'm Lynn Rollins, saying so long from Baton Rouge. This has been a presentation of ESPN.